Hello, this video gives a brief introduction to and overview of the postgraduate programs in Theology, Imagination and Culture that we offer here at Sarum. My name is Dr Jon Morgan and I'm the coordinator of the Centre for Theology, Imagination and Culture and the program leader for the postgraduate programs of that same name. Thanks for your interest in the college and in these programs, and I'm only sorry that we're not able to be together at Sarum today, meeting in person, having lunch and showing you around the college, but clearly these are unusual and testing times. However, hopefully this video offers you a taste of what these programs are about, and if you have any questions that are not covered, I'll put up my email at the end and would warmly invite any of you who would like to drop me a line so that we can organise to have a chat. So let's look at these programs. We run 3 programs in this area: a postgraduate certificate, a postgraduate diploma and a Master of Arts. These 3 programs all relate to a single course of study and are distinguished only by how many modules a student studies and how many credits they achieve. A postgraduate certificate is awarded for 60 credits, which is the equivalent of 3 taught modules. A postgraduate diploma is awarded for 120 credits, which is the equivalent of 6 taught modules. And the Master of Arts is awarded for 180 credits, which is the equivalent of 6 taught modules plus a dissertation project. These are part-time programs, so in terms of timescale, it's typical for them to take 1, 2 and 3 years respectively, although other timescales are possible. Okay, so that's the basic structure of the programs, but what are they actually about? Well, as the title Theology, Imagination and Culture implies, this course provides Sarum students with an opportunity to explore the rich and far-reaching relationship between theology and culture, and to engage imagination as a key tool in that exploration. We address what theology has to contribute to the study of culture, and what culture has to contribute to the study of theology, and how the concept and exercise of imagination might enrich both. The course offers a grounding in the historical, philosophical and sociological study of culture, so we examine how culture has been defined, what key thinkers have wanted to say about it, and about how it functions as an idea. We examine more specifically what theologians have said about culture and about how the concept of culture relates to key theological concepts like creation and the value, status and work of human beings and other animals, sin, corruption and our various struggles for justice, wholeness and peace, revelation, worship and the religious life, and salvation. We also focus on what the study of culture and of cultural texts, things like visual art, literature, music, film, television, poetry, dance, prayer, liturgy, digital technologies, politics, propaganda, what these phenomena can teach us about theology and about how it has been done and about how it might be done differently. There is particular emphasis on the serious and critical study of mass cultural and pop cultural texts, though we also examine and question the distinctions between high culture and low culture, examining texts drawn from canonical art and intellectual culture, and culture in its popular, contemporary, radical and simply most mundane forms. As I mentioned before, these 3 programs are drawn from a single course of study, and here are some examples of the modules that comprise the course. The module in Theology and Human Culture is core to all the programs and therefore compulsory, and Text, Interpretation and Imagination is mandatory for the 2 longer programs. Outside of those 2 modules, students have the opportunity to pick from a range of options to suit their needs and preferences, and alongside the taught modules there's an option to do a module of guided study, which is essentially a short research project on an agreed topic. There are also modules that are shared between the Theology, Imagination and Culture course and the course in Christian Spirituality, which brings students together across the 2 programs to explore areas of crossover and exchange between the subject areas. It's also possible for a student to take one module from outside their program of study if that appeals. Until this year, alongside the programs in Theology, Imagination and Culture and Christian Spirituality, we had also run programs in Christian Liturgy and Approaches to Leadership. While those programs are no longer open to new recruits, those two areas will remain part of what we offer at Sarum, becoming integrated into the continuing programs rather than as sitting as separate awards. Okay, let's talk a bit about how we teach at Sarum. These programs are based on a model of delivery which sees the core teaching take place during intensive residentials, which typically run from a Monday afternoon to a Thursday afternoon, and include a timetable of sessions of lectures, seminars, group exercises, screenings and performances of films and artistic work, and various other learning activities. After each residential, students are then resourced, tutored and guided through their assessment using our online learning platform and by means of tutorials, which are regularly done over the phone or by Skype, where face-to-face meetings are not convenient. I'll just say something about who delivers our teaching. So in addition to input from me and from others on the academic team at Sarum, our modules frequently draw on the expertise of visiting lecturers who are experts in their field and come to Sarum to share their knowledge and experience. You can see on the screen just some of the contributors who've come and led sessions on the course this year. Well, I hope that whistle-stop tour has been of interest to you and given you a sense of what we're about and of what we offer. And at this point I would usually invite questions, but in this instance I've put my email address on the screen and would warmly encourage any of you who are potentially interested in the course or have any queries just to drop me a line. Thank you for your interest and for your time, and I hope that we do meet at some point in the future, maybe to welcome you as a student in Theology, Imagination and Culture.